Have you ever noticed that we stress over the littlest things in life? Like we stress over deadlines, we stress over bills, we stress over our appearance, the way we look, how people might perceive, the way we talk, the way that we walk. I shared this in my last video, just with the judgment. But there's so much stress that we go through because we start over analyzing and overthinking how we are supposed to operate in this life. And we allow this world to kind of judge the different things that we tend to focus and put our attention and energy on. And something I did, and maybe some of you out there have done the same thing, and I did this for 2/3 of my life, and I made a huge mistake, is I took this life way too seriously. I really allowed this physical three-dimensional life to just run my thoughts, my actions, and my every move I made. And it honestly just caused me more stress, more anxiety, and more frustration than anything else. I felt like I was just kind of doing what I was supposed to do, but nothing was getting accomplished. Every single day, I was working so hard and I was meeting deadlines and I was making sure that my appearance was accurate to what was expected of me. And I felt like I just was at a standstill or even moving backwards. And for some of you out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it is so beyond frustrating. And so something I was so thankful that I learned, and I heard Wayne Dyer one time on a YouTube video, and he started talking about how we just need to relax and how we need to just trust God, and how this physical world, it's not what we need to be focusing on. Like everything out there is going to distract us from internally what we need to be on the inside. And I started really thinking about it. And my parents had me in church at a very young age. And I picked up on a lot of important things at that point in time. A lot of the stuff that, I was taught at a young age was to be respectful and, really hone in on who I am, the way that God sees me. And I took that very seriously with, my character and how I present myself to other people. I want to be a person that, people see God through me. But at the same time, I was allowing so much of the influence of this life, the influence of, meeting deadlines at work, and just making sure I did all my duties as a responsible adult. And it was just over and over. And it's just become so much, especially for parents, it can be a lot, trying to keep up with all the different demands that kids have with sports and school and, scheduling and everything else. And then you're trying to juggle in personal life at the same time. It's so important that we kind of just sit back, take a deep breath, and really realize that what is important, what's the priorities. And honestly, a lot of times we miss out on what the priority is. And the priority is really focusing on bettering ourselves so we can be better for others. And that is something that I wasn't focusing on. I was focusing on all the wrong things. I was allowing myself to get distracted by everyday life. And when I finally heard Wayne Dyer, speak, and then I started listening to Bob Proctor and how he was talking, just about how we can kind of create our own realities. And really just by honing in and changing our belief system. And then I listened to Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about changing your personal reality by changing your personality and the rewiring of the brain and neuroplasticity, and everything that I learned from the Bible and all these different mentors who are talking about not allowing this outside physical world to influence how we act and who we are, and not form a belief system of false narratives. Because think about it this way, like everything that you truly believe right now probably came from when you were a child, probably came from what your parents told you. And even though they didn't mean to tell you things that might sabotage your belief system, like money is difficult to make and money is the root of all evil, and just the way that you were brought up in a certain, maybe even social status or belief system around what they believed and implanted and downloaded onto you, doesn't mean it always has to stay that way. We have a choice to rewire our thinking. We have a choice to change our belief system. So when I got to a point where after I heard Wayne Dyer speak and say so much truth that made sense, especially from everything that I had learned from what the Bible says. And, my grandmother, I call her Nana, she was always so happy. I never thought anything ever got to her. Was that true? I have no idea. But to me, she always was so pleasant, and she was always so happy, and she never allowed even the negative things to influence her thought process and her mindset and her happiness and her joy. And I can't remember who I heard it from before, but it stuck with me. And I heard somebody say, no one is allowed to steal your joy. And I was like, man, that is so true. Like, no one's allowed to steal my joy from me. Like, if anybody is going to influence my happiness and my joy, it's the only person that's going to allow that is me. And that's going to be on me. And that's going to be my fault if I let that happen. Because you have a choice. You have a choice the way you wake up in the morning and see the world. You have a choice to make a decision on how you are going to believe that your day is going to go. You can observe certain things in this life by just truly starting the belief system in the right way. So instead of waking up in the morning and being frustrated that you have to go to a job, and frustrated that you have these schedules that you have to keep, and frustrated that you wake up and you have back pain already, whatever those frustrations are, just be thankful that you woke up that morning and you were able to take a deep breath and you have another day to learn, grow, and develop and become a better version of yourself if you allow yourself to move in that sense of a direction. See, a lot of times what we do is we wake up and we're aggravated because we have to go to a job that maybe we don't like, but be thankful you have a job. A lot of people don't have a job. I mean, I know many people that it's 2 years and they haven't even found a job yet. So just be grateful for what you do have. Have gratitude for the things that you have around you. If you wake up in a bed with air conditioning, be thankful for that. I mean, there are so many people that don't have the little details, the little things in life that we fully take for granted. So if you come from a place of gratitude right when you wake up in the morning and you thank God for a new day, you're automatically going to set yourself up on a different path of that day. Now, instead of being frustrated and constantly just having, ideas in your mind of, wow, like, I don't want to go to work today. I don't feel like doing this. Wow, I don't want to have to, go to this doctor's appointment at 1:00 and have to figure out how I'm going to get there. And you're worrying about the wrong things. See, life will kind of evolve in a way that goes with your beliefs and the way that you envision and see your life unfolding. So it was interesting to me that as I started putting these things into practice, wake up in the morning with gratitude, meditating and taking deep breaths, praying on the way to work, spending the entire time on the way to work, just thanking God for a new day and appreciating the things that he's given me and asking him to, make me a vessel. And so people can see him through me and provide me opportunities to be a blessing and to serve others. It's amazing that as my day goes on, I feel like I'm an autopilot sometimes, where I'm operating at a energetic level, and I have so much clarity that sometimes I not take a deep breath, but I take a step back. I'm like, man, like this day is going great, and I don't even know how I just did all this stuff. And I'm not joking. It's pretty amazing how what you think and how you feel and the emotions that you set in place on a daily basis, that if you don't take this life so seriously and you start envisioning the things that you want to observe in this life, you will start to observe and see the things that you want to attract in your life. And a lot of times throughout the day, I'm just asking God, God, give me an opportunity here. Let me be a blessing to somebody. Who am I going to be able to serve today? And because I'm coming from this place of unselfishness, I don't have a lot of the weight on my shoulders that I kept putting on because I was so focused on me all day long. Like me. I want to make sure that it goes good for me. And I want to make sure that my schedules are aligned with this. Like I just kind of let go and I surrender every single morning. And ever since I started doing this, ever since I told, part of my prayer was also telling God, be like, you're in control. Like I fully surrender. Like I don't want to deal with the stresses of this life. And I know that you will take the workload and you will make this guide and you will make things a lot easier. And sure enough, things are so much easier. And I'm so much more, there's gratitude that comes with every step I take all day long. And because of that, I feel so different and I feel so energetic and I feel so much more alive. And at the end of the day, I just feel like there was such a sense of accomplishment because I am provided opportunities where I am able to help other people. in ways that I didn't think that, like when I have an idea in my mind of how I want to better serve somebody else, maybe, it's just, buying them a cup of coffee or doing something nice. But some of those opportunities come where people come up to me and they start telling me things, personally, like they automatically trust me. And I don't take that for granted. Like I appreciate that, and I know it's a sign. This is the situation. God put this person right here for me to be someone that they can talk to. I can listen. I can come from a place of no judgment, and I can do something to help them today. I can be something to them that they didn't expect either, because I didn't expect this opportunity as a blessing. And I know it sounds weird, but like me not worrying about me and letting God worry about all the stuff that I would normally worry about, I'm able to just be present in the moment and see life for what it truly is. And I'm just so much more relaxed. And I want that for you guys. Like I some of this might be all over the place, but I'm really just trying to portray a story of what it is that I have grown to love and appreciate about life. And honestly, it's not taking it so seriously. It's not trying to always control the outcome of something. It's setting an intention, trusting God that the outcome is going to be exactly what you want it to be, as long as you start identifying the synchronicities, following the breadcrumbs that He provides to you, and taking intuitive action as these synchronicities, as these opportunities come to you, without worrying about how it's all going to be played out, how your day is going to end. Just flow in the moment, and don't allow yourself to overthink things. Don't allow the anxiety to kick in because you don't know what's going to happen next. Sometimes we're not supposed to know, and sometimes we will deal with some obstacles, but those obstacles, when you look back on them, you'd be like, man, I needed that situation to happen, because if I didn't have that happen, I wouldn't be the person I am right now, to be available, to be the person I wanted to truly be in this life, because I wouldn't have been battle tested. I wouldn't have had this moment for learning and development. I wouldn't have had to overcome this adversity and not be ready to handle some of the bigger situations that are going to come with this life that I've been trying to manifest and create. This life that I know that God is trying to guide me to, because I'm being obedient and I'm just not worrying about the outcome of things, and I'm not worried, honestly, about anything. And that's what's truly amazing. The worry, the anxiety, the stress, the little things that I used to just always, keep my focus on. That focus was becoming so much of a distraction. I couldn't be present in actually the opportunities that were coming right in front of me, and I was missing them because I was so focused on my timeline. I was so focused on the outcome I wanted, where the outcomes that I want, honestly, when I was being obedient to just relaxing and surrendering and not taking this life so seriously, and just kind of taking a step back and moving in a flow, those opportunities, they were even better than what I truly imagined for the outcome I wanted. Like, they got even better. Like, even quick story, when I was trying to, I really wanted to become a football scout. Like, I was in film every single day. I was creating, I was writing different stories. I was doing some fantasy football stuff. I was doing some scouting information. And the next thing I know, that when I realized I was trying to control the outcome and nothing was unfolding for me. I mean, I was just a guy writing stuff and throwing on Twitter and, putting out scouting reports and putting them on Facebook and hoping someone would see maybe there was something in me, to grow and develop in this field. Nothing was happening. But when I finally almost got frustrated with it, and I said, you know what, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna drive myself crazy with this anymore. I'm not gonna keep focusing and causing, this friction in my mind because nothing is happening. Not that I gave up on me wanting to do this, but I just didn't care anymore about, getting the likes and the views. Like, I just kind of relaxed with it. And as soon as I relaxed with it and I just kind of just started writing stuff, putting it out there and not expecting anything to happen, that's when things happened. That's when my followers picked up. Like the next thing I know, I started getting more and more followers on Twitter. The next thing I know, I got more and more opportunities coming to me, more writing opportunities, more scouting opportunities with a couple different websites. And with one website that I started writing for with my scouting analysis, it was kind of between fantasy football and scouting. I had an opportunity to go to the scouting academy, and that gave me an opportunity to network with some of the greatest people I've ever met in my entire life. And honestly, and this is just a plug, and they don't even know I'm doing this, but Dan Hatman of the Scouting Academy, one of the best people I've ever met in my life. If you are out there and you want to truly become a scout, reach out to Dan Hatman at the Scouting Academy. He's phenomenal. But that was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. One, because I realized that I was causing so much friction by trying to control my outcome, that when I let go and I didn't care about the outcome anymore, but I still put in the work, but it wasn't work for me because I absolutely loved it. I just got into a flow. I was just writing and putting it out there. And honestly, it was to a point where, because I wasn't so focused on the outcome, I had more clarity to be creative. And that creativity started really evolving into new ways that I found myself identifying different ways of talent in my scouting process. And then the knowledge I gained from the Scouting Academy, it was just like all these opportunities were getting created for me. And I got an opportunity to do videos with the Scouting Academy, and I couldn't believe it. And I realized, detachment, the law of attachment is a real thing. But we had so much friction when we were trying to control an outcome that once you kind of surrender and you don't worry about how the outcome is going to play out, but you do the work, I'm not going to even call it work, you do the thing you love to do because you love to do it, and you are trying to find a way to serve others with the knowledge of this thing that you're creating. When you come from that unselfish place, that's when things start to happen. That's when opportunities and synchronicities start to kick in. And the outcome was so much better than I could have ever expected. One, I always thought I wanted to be this football scout, but now I realize that what I wanted was not the path that I was supposed to take, because I found a great person that I'm able to actually just do YouTube videos with and scouting analysis and get my information out there in a way that I'm having a blast. And it's even better than I could have expected, because what I had in my mind wasn't the outcome that happened. The outcome is honestly even better. So I say this because I think we cause a lot of tension and we cause a lot of friction with allowing this physical world to distract us, and not just allowing us to be in a flow and do the things that we love without the worry, without the anxiety. Because when you let go and you trust God, good things will happen. I talked about my grandmother, Nana, and Matthew 6:34 reminds me of her so much, but it is a great reminder just in general. And it says, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." And it's beyond true. Why are we worried about tomorrow when in this present moment right now, we need to be focused and grateful and thankful, and we have great things to accomplish right now. Tomorrow is going to be tomorrow. Why are we worrying about what is going to happen next? Why are we worrying about tomorrow? If we do that, that means we're also not enjoying today. Don't worry about tomorrow. It's going to have its own troubles and it's going to have its own blessings. That is for that day. But to be present right now and to do the things that you want to do right now, without the anxiety, without the need of control, just trusting God and allowing things to evolve, I promise you the outcome is going to be so much better, and you're going to be more joyful and spirited and more clear-minded and have more energy. And you're just going to feel like you can accomplish anything because you don't have to worry about all these things that you thought you had to worry about. This is something I wish I knew a long time ago. This is something that if I could go back and tell younger Jason, chill out, relax, trust God, enjoy this life. This life can be amazing, and you don't have to take it so seriously. Just surrender and find the thing you love to do. Find the thing that makes you passionate. Find the thing that you know that when you start creating with it, you are going to actually better serve others and better their lives. I mean, that's the ultimate gift. I hope this video helps you guys. I hope you see some value in just being able to let go and not take this life so seriously and have fun and enjoy yourselves, because that is ultimately what God wants for us in this life.